Hey, in this video, I'm going to talk about the updates to Oxy Toolbox in version 1.3.9. The first update is that we have added Components Panel option under Editor Tweaks module. So what this Components Panel does is that it allows you to quickly add components by simply clicking on them without having to click on add plus add and then going into different sections or categories and hunting for them and clicking. So all the, at least most of the native Oxygen components will be shown in one place. So to get started, we need to go to Oxygen and then Oxy Toolbox settings page and then take editor tweaks, save the changes and then expand this to see further options. And here you will find this new option called Components Panel. Tick that and save the changes. And if you already have Oxygen editor open, just refresh it. Okay, so you can see this new panel at the top, and when I put my mouse on top of it, it is going to slide down and show most of the default Oxygen components here, grouped in different categories. And you can scroll down here to see further components. If WooCommerce is active and installed along with the Oxygen WooCommerce add-on, you're going to see those components being listed here. Now, one thing that I would like to say is that this is going to show most of the default Oxygen components, but not the components some other plugins like Oxy Extras adds. Also, this is not going to list certain categories of components like widgets and sidebars. Okay, so the main use of this is to quickly add. If you already know what the structure that you're going to build, then you can quickly add components. So let's say that you start working on a page and you know that it's going to contain 5 sections. So just click on this 5 times, and when I take my mouse away, it is going to go away out of the view. So I select the first section in this case, and I can add a div inside that, perhaps a columns component that is having 2 columns, and in the left column I can add an image. Let's select an image, and in the right column we can add, let's say, a heading, a text component, and a call to action button. Okay, so it just makes it fast and easy to add most of the commonly used controls in Oxygen. Okay, so the next update is that we have added a checkbox to disable the Oxygen meta box on post types other than page. By default, the Oxygen meta box is added on all the post types, but typically templates and pages are what most users will be wanting to edit with Oxygen directly. So if you do not want Oxygen's meta box to show up on the post types other than pages and templates, then you can come to the Oxy Toolbox settings page and you can check this option and save the changes. But first, let me show you what the problem is. So let's say you're using ACF, Advanced Custom Fields plugin, and you edit a field group. You can see this Oxygen's meta box here, which does not make any sense in this case. So what you could do is you can go to Oxygen's settings and I'm using 3.6 RC1, so that has these options have been moved under a client control in this version. So in 3.5 it will be in a different tab. Anyway, so you can see that by default none of them will be um, like hidden. Oxymeta box will be is set to show on all the post types. So you could click on this, 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 and save changes. So now the Oxygen's meta box is going to appear only on the pages and templates. So if you do not want to do this step all the time, um, what you could do is go to Oxy Toolbox settings, check that box, save the changes. And now if you go to, say, again, custom fields, edit a field group, you're not going to see that meta box anymore. You can also go to Oxygen settings to confirm that those have been checked. Now, if you want to make any changes, you can here. Let's say you want to show, for whatever reason, the Oxygen meta box on the post. You can make that change, save the changes, and this is going to work as you expect. But next time you or on the toolbox settings page, if you want to disable Oxygen's meta box on all the CPTs other than page, you can come here, check this box, and save the changes. Okay, so the next option next update that we have added is the small to large sub option for the media query buttons. So in editor tweaks, um, when media query buttons is selected, then we can see that the drop down is replaced with these sort of a radio field group, and these buttons will be shown from large to small, which is the standard Oxygen approach, the desktop first, not mobile first. But if you want to reverse the order in which these buttons appear, like small to large, then you would come to editor tweaks, and under media query buttons select small to large, save the changes. And now you can see that the media query buttons show appear from small to large. Okay, so the next update is that we have moved the autosave option from the undo module into editor tweaks. That is because we have removed the undo module. So Oxygen has got the undo and redo feature for quite some time now, probably 2-3 months. So we have decided to remove the undo module that we originally introduced in Oxygen via Toolbox. But one of the features of that module is the autosave option, which Oxygen still does not provide. So if you want to enable that autosave in Oxygen as you work, you can come to editor tweaks, and here you can see that by default it will be 0. So if you want to activate the autosave, you just change this time to, say, 5-10 minutes depending on what you need, and come here and save the changes. So once you have that active, what that setting or option is going to do is to automatically save. It's like automatic. You have your assistant that is clicking on the save button automatically at the time interval that you set. Okay. Now, one issue could be that you are currently typing something or moving the mouse, and having the autosave trigger, it might be jarring. It might throw you off and disturb you. So if that is the case, you can you can check this option called Smart Autosave, and that is going to wait until any keyboard or mouse activity stops. Only then it is going to um, press the save button for you. Okay. Okay, so the last update is that we have added tab as a hotkey option in full screen module. So if you enable full screen, you can see that by default the the hotkey for the full screen is control, and previously the options that were available were shift, control, alt, and command. So this update also adds tab. So if you set this to tab and save the changes, let's say I have the structure open as well. Now I can press tab, and that is going to hide the left panel as well as the right panel, like that. So I'm pressing tab again, and that's going to bring back both these panels. And let's say I have a code block inside here, and I'm inside this PHP and HTML code editor. In this case, it could be CSS editor as well. Now, when I press that hotkey, in this case tab, that is going to make this full screen. And once you're done editing or pasting your code, you can press tab again to go back to the default size of this code area, and you can press again tab again to make it go full screen. Now when I move my mouse over to the actual web page or the preview area and press tab, that is going to hide both the panels. But using tab might get annoying, because let's say you have a component and you want to add a condition on it. You can click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this. Let's say you select dynamic data, and let's say you select PHP function return value. Now if you paste or type something in here, you expect to go to the next field by pressing tab, right? But that's not going to work. That is going to trigger the uh, full screen module, and that is going to be toggling your panels. So since I am on Mac, I personally prefer and use control, but in case you want to use tab for whatever reason, you can still do that. All right, so I hope you uh, liked the changes that we have brought in the new update to Oxy Toolbox. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.